Dr. Leah.
This is Dr. Sylvia.
And we are
Three Friends Talk.
Hello, friends. I have a special little song playing.
Turn it up. Turn it up.
Mr. Lee, Mr. Lee.
You like this
Yeah,
song?
y'all remember this song?
No, not in my generation.
Well, I remember this song when Leah told me that her dad's name was Mr. Lee, and this was from the Cosby Show, and Felicia Rashad was singing it, wasn't she? Mr. Lee,
Yeah.
Mr. Lee. Yes, and this has been the theme song for your dad ever since. For
When
me,
they had their wigs, and they were.
was that what they were doing?
I have some people call me Mr. Lee, just call me Mr. Miller.
Well, I call
What
you
do you
Mr.
want us
Lee,
to
Mr.
call
Lee.
you tonight?
Mr. Lee. What else?
Mr. Lee, Mr. Lee, ooh, Mr. Lee, Mr. Lee, Mr. Lee. Ooh, okay. So, welcome, friends, to another episode of Our Father's Daughters on Three Friends Talk. So, this is a
Welcome.
special series that we have in the month of June. We are celebrating Men's Health Month for the month of June, and none other than our best, dads of Three Friends Talk that we thought would be the best represented for the talk this month. So last week we had on Mr. V. V as in Villery, my dad, and this week we have Mr. Lee, which is none other than Dr. Leah's dad. Welcome, Mr. Lee. I won't say Dr. Leah. Mr. Lee.
Glad to be here.
Awesome.
Good,
Don't they
glad
look like
to
twins,
have
Dr.
you.
Sylvia?
Do they look like what?
Don't they look like twins, Dr. Sylvia?
Yeah, they do.
No, not today.
Yeah.
Some days
Not
we
today?
do. No, I think I got a little more Linda in me today. I don't know.
I mean,
Well, I'm
we
sure
getting
we'll
a
get
close
a
up.
guest appearance by Miss Linda later on tonight.
I'm sure she's shaking her head no.
Yeah, she's Mom will come on in the show.
She's
Well,
sitting right across the way. She's right across the way in the studio.
Hey, Miss
I'm
Linda.
sure. Hey, Miss Linda.
Hey.
Well, this is
Hi there.
none other than for you to give the let the people know who your dad is, and then I'll play a little game with him later on in the show.
Wait, Dr. Sylvia is saying, hold up. Wait a minute.
Before we get into it, y'all, we have to shout out our friends. Hello, Doc. Thanks for tuning in, and let us know where you're watching from. Put it in the chat, and we'd love for you to share. Father's Day is this weekend, and so we're so honored to have had Mr. V and today Mr. Lee on the show.
Yay! So, we normally get together before the show starts, and I know it took me a little while to plug in because I was going through the many bios. There's bios. We got short, we got long, we got Facebook.
Are you a public figure?
I think so. I don't know what's going on. He has a lot going on over here.
Multiple careers.
Multiple careers. Got it.
Yeah. So we could take it back a little bit. He is from Memphis, Tennessee. He's born and raised, and he attended George Washington Carver High School, with class of 1966.
That's it.
Okay. So after he graduated, he moved to Atlanta, Georgia, and he attended Morris Brown College, where he was one of the mighty Wolverines.
Yep.
He was in the marching band.
I did.
Yes, he was one of the so I guess they still have the marching band now, right? I don't know.
No, They'll be bringing it back.
They're bringing it back, yeah.
Yeah.
So they did receive their accreditation, so they're
That
doing
was
well,
big.
right? And of course, upon his time at Morris Brown, he joined the illustrious fraternity in the Iota chapter of Alpha Phi Alpha. I was about to say Alpha Kappa Alpha. So
I know. I was like, why she saying it like that?
Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated. So what year was that?
1967.
67. Okay.
Oh wow.
So he was down in.
Year.
Hmm.
This will be my 51st, 54th year.
We can barely hear Mr. Lee. We can barely hear.
Oh, okay.
Talk.
So close to the camera, I thought you could hear me.
No, just talk.
All right. 1967 is when I pledged.
So you were a freshman.
No, sophomore.
Oh, okay.
Okay, sophomore. Yeah, so he was in Atlanta for a couple of years, and then he ended up moving back to Memphis, right? And started his career and joined the military. So you started out in the reserves, right?
Exactly.
And he's
Army Reserve.
Army Reserves, and served in the Army Reserves.
See, like I told you, I have multiple
Right.
careers.
The Navy.
I wasn't satisfied just being with the Army, so I spent 6 years in the Army Reserve, 2 years in the Navy Reserve, and 20 years in the Air National Guard, from which I retired in 1997 from the military.
That's correct. And like I said, you started your career at that point. You started with First Tennessee Bank.
At that time, it was First National Bank.
First National Bank.
And data, they call it data processing in 1968, and that's evolved. Now they call it IT. When I started, it was called data processing.
Right. And you would, and who did you meet while you were there? When you were?
Oh, who was that meet? Oh, your mother. Oh, yeah, that's right.
Not the acting. It's the acting for me.
Right.
Who I met?
I mean, okay, so and he met the beautiful Linda Childress, and they were united in holy matrimony in 1975, and took them 5 years to create the greatest creation upon all time.
Humbra?
1980, August 14th.
That's it.
It was raining.
I remember that night.
It was one and done. That's
He said, I remember that night.
This man said it was raining.
No, it wasn't raining. It was a full moon.
It was, no, that was during the heat wave. My mom told me, because I'm right behind you. It was a heat wave in August of 1980. And she said she was miserable.
It was probably still hot in September because
in September.
I'm sure it was still hot then. I was actually due in July, and held out a little bit longer, so I'm sure that was horrible.
A lot of it. Oh wow.
Yeah. Back then, they didn't induce labor; they just let you go.
Come back when she's ready.
Right. So, but I still would have been a Leo. I was due at the end of July, so it was Leo blood was in me regardless. So
shout out to Leos.
Correct. The rest of his career is history, because when I was born, that's all that mattered, right? I think. Okay. Well, he went on to attend Christian Brothers College. He received his bachelor's and his master's degree in IT. Okay. And what else? I mean, he retired from it's now First Horizon. He retired from First Tennessee Bank. He retired from the military. What else great did you do in that time?
I've done many things.
Talk louder.
Yeah, I retired from First Tennessee Bank in 2007, and from that point on, I've been doing consulting in information technology, and I've had multiple roles in telecommunications and disaster recovery and business continuity, advising companies on how to stay afloat. And this has been a very important time for that because of COVID.
And the Russians.
Companies have really adapted to of recovering their operations and working from home, and that has made a change in the way people look at IT at this point.
For sure.
Correct. And then I'll just highlight some of his volunteer activities. He's a former board member, Alpha Memphis Education Foundation, former board member and mentor at Southside Boys and Girls Club. He was a former assistant scout master, Troop 143 at St. Augustine Church. Shout out St. Augustine, that's our home church. He's a former good health advocate for Tennessee's Men's Health Network and Us Two International. Is it Us Two or US Two?
Us too.
Us Two. Former member, Finance Committee at St. Augustine. Former board member, Memphis Urban League Computer Training Center. Former board member with Associated Catholic Charities. Former board member with Memphis City Beautiful Commission. There's more and more and more. And in 2005, I guess the most important role came about when Jalen Lee was born.
Yes, indeed.
He
Of
became
your
a
name.
pawpaw.
Yeah, he became a pawpaw.
Mhm.
So the rest is history.
And
Wow,
what,
you
in
got some.
2021, a pawpaw of T'Challa.
Right. Yeah, now he's a new pawpaw. He's a dog paw.
Oh yeah.
Dog
Not
paw.
my friend.
Right.
Well,
And
Leah, sounds like you got
plenty of
some.
comments.
Looks like you have some big shoes to fill, Leah.
I do. I never, it never ceases to amaze me that the love and attention I've received from my parents. I know that I'm an only child and I'm a little, extra loved.
Spoiled.
No, I'm not spoiled. I don't think so.
Oh, okay. Oh.
Yeah.
Just don't ask her for her food. That's the only thing. Anything else is fair.
Thank you. Hey, Clint. That's Uncle Clint right there. He's saying hey to you, Daddy.
Oh,
Hey.
brother, is that Palmo?
Yeah, that's
Oh,
one
okay.
of my coworkers. He's saying hello.
Oh,
He
he's
said,
here in
hey,
Memphis?
doctors. Yeah, he's here.
Hello, Clint.
Who else is out there? Hey, Miss Vicky.
Oh, Miss Vicky.
Yeah, she said,
Okay.
AKA Pawpaw. What she say? Summer 1980 was definitely a hot one. Oh, my goodness. Everybody remembers that.
My mama said she was miserable. It was a heat wave. And
My mom's over here
her
co-signing.
expression on her face, I never asked her about it again because she just
Oh, wow.
was like, okay, girl, well, you got me out the deal.
Here's Brian.
Right.
Brother.
That's my brother.
Davis.
Yeah, Brother Davis. That's my brother. We brother from another mother.
All right. Thanks for tuning in.
Look at Dad, our fourth friend. He's such a pro. He said thanks for tuning in.
Okay, so Dr. Courtney, what you got?
It's time. Oh, this is my favorite part of the show. Okay, so
Oh, goodness.
Mr. Lee, I usually like to play a game with our guests so that our listeners get to know a little bit better. Did Dr. Leah tell you about our game?
A little bit about it, yes.
Okay, awesome. Well, I'm going to go pretty quickly because I think I'm having some connection issues, but bear with me.
Okay.
So,
You good?
this is all this or that.
It's kind of breaking up a little bit.
Try again.
It's called this or that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No
Put the
background.
timer on the clock, Dr. Leah.
Did y'all hear him? He said
What'd
no
he say?
background music. He wants some
No.
trivia show music.
Let me see what I can find.
Oh my
Dr.
goodness.
Leah is Dr. Sound Effects, so she needs to
I
have
know. We need to talk to her about her funding.
I don't know if that was ever put in my budget, and I'm already I'm IT. I got the IT bug from my dad, and
This is why you're the producer. Yeah.
I'm the executive director behind the scenes. There we go. Is that better? Okay. There we go.
All right.
Okay, that's enough.
Did you enjoy that?
All right.
Y'all made him feel so special. That's so sweet.
Do we have 30 seconds on the clock?
Now comes the hard part.
It's not hard.
Oh, okay. Okay, we'll see.
Yes, I have 30 seconds on the clock.
Awesome. When I say go, you call out the first thing that comes to mind. Okay, Mr. Lee?
All right. Let's see if we can do this.
And Go. iPhone or Droid?
A what?
iPhone or
iPhone or Droid? The telephone,
Like
the cell
the phone.
phone.
iPhone or Droid or
Oh,
Android.
Droid. Okay.
Droid?
Droid, yes.
Oh.
Okay. Suits or sweats?
Suits or sweats?
Suit.
Blues or jazz music?
Jazz. That's easy.
Barbecue or seafood?
Seafood.
Dylan or T'Challa?
Jalen or
T'Challa.
T'Challa?
What did you say? Oh, Jalen like T'Challa.
I'm pausing on that one.
I didn't hear the first thing she said.
He didn't hear the question.
I just heard T'Challa.
Okay.
He got excited.
Look, stop the
Jalen
timer,
or
Leah. Stop the timer.
He said Jalen. He said Jalen.
He did, because I thought he said T'Challa.
He
That's
did
what
it
I
first.
heard. That's what I heard.
Okay, okay.
Keep going.
Beale Street or Bourbon Street?
Beale Street or Bourbon Street?
Bill Street.
Okay. Rich friend or loyal friend?
What?
Rich friend or loyal friend?
Loyal friend.
Okay. The Titans or the Saints?
Titans.
Unfortunately.
Oh, all right. And
Cowboy.
what's your drink, Mr. Lee? Coffee, wine, or Hennessy?
Coffee, wine, or Hennessy?
Wine, of course.
Oh,
And
well,
Cowboy.
excuse me.
And Dallas
Okay.
Cowboys.
We got a classic, man. Hey. Oh, that's another song I like.
Sylvia's over here talking about the Dallas Cowboys.
Dallas who?
No.
You heard what I said.
That was good.
You
That
heard
was
what I
good.
said.
That was good. That was good.
You know, you the one had your daughter rocking
Hey,
the Dallas
hey,
Cowboys shirt,
Hey,
sweatshirt,
hey.
and you
He
look
had
real happy.
He had nothing to do with that. If anyone, I just shared the graphic on my personal page, and if you go to Three Friends Talk page, you will see that there was some slight misunderstanding several years ago. The only reason why I was wearing that outfit, my great aunt brought it to me.
Wah. Okay, I think Mr.
Dallas,
Lee has to go.
Texas. My mom, her mom was from Texas, so shout out to Lake
The
Quitman,
Cowboys.
and Denison, Texas. That's all we got for Texas. Lake Quitman, Denison.
You got more.
No.
Anyway,
No.
Dr. Courtney, were you finished?
Yes, we did it, Mr. Lee. That was awesome. Thank you. So, see, it was harmless. It was
Did
great.
I get 100? Did I get 100?
75.
Oh.
Well,
I knew
Okay.
Dr. Julia was
still
coming with the
passed.
score. You did.
C plus.
I did, cater a little bit. I didn't cheat. I turned the clock off because I kept having to repeat what you were saying, Dr. Courtney. But
Yeah, Dr. Courtney's caught in the
It was my
matrix today.
connection.
she really is. But
Caught
it's
in the
good.
matrix.
We're all good. We are working with it. We are working with it.
Is that Spirit Airlines Wi-Fi? She's stuck. Okay. My first question.
We're going to save that for the end of my experience with Spirit Airlines so everyone can know how I hate them right by now. Okay.
Oh, I had a good experience with them, but okay, go ahead.
I have a love-hate relationship.
We're going to save that for the end of the show. I would like to focus on Mr. Lee. Good vibes only.
We have a few more comments.
Hey, Tanisha. Yeah, 1980 heat wave was a doozy. That's what I heard. And anybody that was pregnant will tell you that was the case. Okay, Mr. Lee. Before we get into the hard questions, I want to give you something a little easy. And Father's Day is this Sunday. Shout out to all the fathers, all those father figures. Those have gone beyond, and special regard for those without fathers. But I want to know, what is the worst and the best Father's Day gift Dr. Leah has ever given you?
It's no worse. There's no worse.
I don't. See, I've been getting Father's Day gifts for 41 years. Now you tell me to move back. I don't ever remember getting a bad one. I can tell you the best one I got was my golf watch.
A golf watch?
Oh,
Is that different from a regular watch? I don't play.
it's GPS. Has GPS on it, so it tells you where you are on the golf course
Oh.
It's a
and how
range
far you are
finder.
from your for your next
Oh.
shot.
Oh.
Did
And
it
it
find the
also
ball for you too?
what was that?
Yes.
Does it find the ball like in the fairway for you? Because mine gets lost all the time.
Oh no, it won't find the ball for you.
Oh, well,
But they
okay.
have chips in those balls, right?
Is that the one you have on?
Yeah,
Oh, you gonna show it off? Oh, you came prepared.
it's
Yeah.
So
upside down.
Is that a
is
garment?
that a recent gift, or you've been wearing that a while now?
What's that?
She bought
Is
him
it
that
recent?
yesterday, so he would say nice things
No,
on the show.
no,
Oh,
I got it last year.
it was last year.
Yeah,
Okay, that is a nice
okay.
gift.
yeah.
Okay,
So
so there's no worse gift.
I don't remember a worse gift. Now, if she ever gave me a coffee cup, that was probably the worst.
That would have been
What
like
coffee
when I
cup?
was like 4 or 5, and I
Yeah.
didn't have any money, so
Yeah.
it came from the heart.
Yeah,
No
that's what.
coffee cups.
So that's the worst if it came from the heart.
No, but that's what
Okay,
happened.
we're not gonna charge up Mr. Lee on the show. We're not gonna charge him up.
He's used to it.
Okay.
Oh my goodness.
All right. Well, thank you for answering my question.
All right.
I want to know if there's another story. What can you share with us about Dr. Leah when she was younger?
You
Any
said what
interesting stories?
Oh,
Any interesting stories that our listener would want to know?
Yeah, let me tell you, when she was in elementary school, I don't know if it was the 4th, 5th grade, tell me, Lee.
I don't even know what you're about to talk about.
When I coached the basketball team.
Oh.
Did y'all know Leah was a basketball star?
No.
Never heard this before.
And I was,
Never.
and I was a coach.
No, that was more like 6th grade.
Yeah, okay.
It was like 6th grade.
If you had time, I could show you some of the videos.
Oh my goodness.
Video.
She's tall. I get it.
We're gonna post that. Yeah.
Okay.
She always wanted to take the ball.
What?
But she couldn't shoot. and if you know her friend Kim was on the team too.
Yeah.
We know Kim.
Yeah.
Kim.
Kim's dad was the other coach.
Yeah, but that was a great time being coach of the basketball team.
Oh my gosh, we've got to get some footage of Dr. Leah as the basketball player.
Yeah.
Her athletic prowess. We didn't know.
Why are people laughing in the comments? I don't.
No, she played volleyball.
I don't understand.
She played volleyball later on.
Yeah, I did.
I never heard about that either.
Oh my God, I gotta see basketball footage.
Did you get a scholarship for volleyball?
It was a short-lived career. It didn't amount to much. It's okay.
But we're keeping active and being involved.
That's right. Keeping active. That's what counts.
Yep.
You got to keep these kids busy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. Well, I have a question, and I want to see if I can get through with my connection. So let me know if it's okay.
You sound pretty good right now. Keep on going.
All right. We're talking about mental health, right? And so, Mr. Lee, through your journey, your health journey, can you tell us about the different changes you've been through? I mean, Dr. Leah has explained to us that you have been diagnosed with diabetes, a year ago. So when did you make? Hear me, because Dr. Leah is crazy.
Dr. Courtney, you want to leave and come back?
Dr. Sylvia, I think we're going to let Dr. Sylvia interpret. So what did Dr. Courtney just say?
I want to know when he made a change in his health journey to make a difference in his diabetes journey.
Okay.
Sure, I can tell you about that.
I got it out.
Around in the early 2000s. I don't even know how old I was then. But I was told, because I always got my annual physicals. I've been doing annual physicals ever since I've been in the military. And I always made a point of getting my my prostate exam starting when I was in my 40s. And in the early 2000s, I was told that I was pre-diabetic. And part of that was because I had shot up to, believe it or not, 196 pounds. And my doctor told me if I didn't start to lose some weight and start being a little bit more active, I've been active all my life, but a little bit more active to lose weight and to make sure I got my blood pressure under control, because I was diagnosed with blood pressure issues, cholesterol issues, and also being pre-diabetic. So they told me if I didn't lose some weight pretty soon, it was going to be pretty bad in the next few years. So I started on a exercise regimen. Uh, I got a nutritionist, and I started eating right, because going through your 40s and your 50s, you start your eating habits change, and I always liked to enjoy life and party and do things like that. So it was catching up with me as I guess I was getting into my 50s. So I lost close to 20 pounds. I think I got down to, no, I got down to 178. Uh, Walking 2 or 3 miles a day, trying to eat better, and I also became more aware of cancer, because my dad developed prostate cancer, and he was a prostate cancer survivor for a number of years until it came back in his latter years. And in 2011, he died of uh, uh, bladder cancer. But when he was going through his journey, I got involved with the American Cancer Society, being a volunteer. Uh, I started attending uh, men's uh, cancer support groups. I got involved with my fraternity, because at that time, uh, Black Barbershop was being promoted throughout the country, because they were trying to educate more Black men about prostate cancer and colon cancer and lung cancer, because of uh, more African American men were susceptible to prostate cancer because of their diets and because of their lifestyles. So I started getting involved, volunteering, helping to raise money. Uh, I'm still doing that to this day with a dear friend of mine who died of lung cancer, his family rather. They have a foundation, and they have a golf tournament, and they have other fundraising events every year. And I'm involved with them to help them raise money and to also give scholarships to teenagers.
Not to cut you off, because we want to talk a bit more about your fundraising and what you've been doing recently with that. We'll go into a little bit more detail with that. I just thought about when he said the early 2000s. We graduated, Courtney and I graduated in 2004. And recently I've looked at my graduation pictures, and you can see it all in his face. His face is so round. He looks almost totally different when I look at those pictures. And over the course of, it didn't take long. It took a couple of years when he started losing weight, and you could tell the difference. Because did they put you on medication?
I've been on metformin ever since for diabetes.
Right. And at some point you were on, you were on another medication, and then they were able to take you off because you had.
No, that was blood pressure.
Okay. Well,
I was on Benacar.
Okay, but he's able to.
No, I'm on Omethortin, something like that.
That's the generic for Benacar.
Okay. I was like, what? Because I recall like.
Well, I was on something else because it had the water pill.
So you were on Benacar HCT.
Yeah,
Right.
That's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then they took me off of that, and I'm on simvastatin now as well. But everything's under control.
Right.
So a lot of times they'll put someone on something like simvastatin that's diabetic to help protect their kidneys from damage. So that's very common.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he was able to get a hold of the changes that were happening, very early on. Like he said, it could have been a lot worse. I know I've shared that we have a family history of cancer, diabetes, high blood pressure. When I go to the doctor and I name off all of my family history, they're like, "Oh my goodness! Like you got to start now. Like you need to be, doing whatever you can to prevent it, because is so prevalent on both sides of my family. So I've always looked up to him for, taking control of it. And he's, he encourages myself, he encourages my mother to stay in the gym, to walk. Now, one of his favorite activities is walking to Chala in the evenings, coming over and seeing him. Um, he's always active. Like he said, he still plays golf. Now he's taking on gardening. That's one of his.
Well, I want to talk a lot about the gardening part.
Okay,
I've even been out there today.
Oh,
Plus, I'm going back out there later on this evening
okay.
to water.
I won't say anymore.
But that's the other thing. I've always loved vegetables, and especially green leafy vegetables, and that's what the doctors told me that I needed to make sure I included in my diet. So that's what I do now. I try to make sure that I have green vegetables in the house, and I eat green vegetables for breakfast because you should eat 5 helpings of vegetables a day. You can't do that all at dinner time, so I do it breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Oh.
But gardening will help me with that because I've got different types of vegetables in the garden right now, and it's not the best time of the year to be out there working, but if I sweat enough, maybe I'll lose a little bit more weight because COVID, the pandemic has caused me to add a few pounds.
Just
So
make sure you stay hydrated. So what vegetables are you eating for breakfast? Let me see if I can guess. Squash?
broccoli,
Oh, okay.
cauliflower sometimes.
Oh,
Tell
okay.
them about all your squash from last year.
Oh yeah, squash is so plentiful. I had to give some of it away.
He had so much squash and
cucumbers.
zucchini.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah,
it.
cucumber.
Hopefully it'll be the same this year.
One thing I don't want to get lost is that you went to your annual physical religiously, and I think that's one step that people can really take away from this. That annual physical, it shows you trends, it shows you so many things, and it helped you be able to take early steps, early intervention to change your life. Most diabetics, they'll go from metformin to another medication, and eventually type 2 diabetics, many of them will end up on insulin. So because you took the reins and lost the weight and maintained an active lifestyle, you've been able to just control your blood sugars with metformin. And that's pretty amazing. So to all our friends out there, the men in your lives and you as well, I know the pandemic has put us behind, but if you haven't gotten your yearly physical, please do so. I got mine the beginning of last week. So, yeah.
And I go back every 3 months to have my A1C checked. And right now it's last time it was at 5.7.
Oh, that's really good. So
And he's religious about it. He checks it.
No, I don't check mine.
Well, you used to.
I
pretty,
used to.
Yeah,
Check.
you used to pretty.
he checked his A1C or his blood sugar?
He would check his blood sugar. That's what I was about to say. You check his blood sugar
I
daily.
I
But he
don't
cut
do
me
that.
off to let me know that he's not doing that anymore.
Well, there's that. So an A1C is an average of your blood sugars over like a 3-month span. So
Right.
it kind of, you might eat
It
right.
shows what he's been doing over time.
Yeah. So when y'all come to the pharmacy and get your stuff refilled because you about to go back to the doctor in a week, the A1C tells on you if you haven't been doing right. So yeah.
Right. And he's good about sharing all of his medical records with me and my mom. So we all keep each other on track. So that's a good thing. It's very open. Like we were just talking about how he's now involved with a lot of foundations and he likes to speak to men and other individuals. And
Men's Health Month has always been important to me for the last few years. I normally participate with the Men's Health Network, and they partner with the University of Tennessee Health Sciences, and they normally have a Men's Health Month activity every year. Last year they didn't have it, and I haven't heard of it this year, but I've always been involved in that, volunteering and educating men and helping to bring other men who don't normally go to the doctor so they can get some type of checkup during that time. And my fraternity has a, uh, a bike ride scheduled, I believe, this month.
Saturday.
For
It's Saturday.
is it Saturday?
Well, I know it's one Saturday involved with
There's
Juneteenth.
so much going on
Is
this.
it at Shelby Farms?
Yeah, I think it's a 40-mile bike ride.
We got lost on bikes in Shelby Farms. I did not enjoy that.
When Kappa Psi was here, we did a bike ride, and Sylvia and I were like at the end.
It's okay.
We got lost.
As long as you finish.
It's okay. We finished. We did finish.
Right.
Took a while, but we went through the farm and through the trails and everywhere. I had fun.
My bike,
Maybe
the seat
Dr.
kept
Sylvia
going
did.
down. The seat went down, and I have long legs, despite my minuscule height. I do have long legs, and yeah, it wasn't a fun ride
It's something new for me, but okay.
because it wasn't your bike.
No, I'm saying it's something new, knowing that you have long legs.
Oh, I do have long legs.
Okay.
They're probably as long as yours.
I doubt it, but that's fine.
We'll figure it out.
Sure. But yeah, so you started out talking about the foundations that you've been assisting and some of the fundraising you've been doing over the last couple of years. So tell us some more about that.
The foundations.
Well, you talking about like James Collins scholarship that you.
Well, they have an annual golf tournament that we use to raise funds. The proceeds go to the American Cancer Society and also scholarships to graduating seniors from high school. So that's one of the things we've been involved in. We didn't have a golf tournament last year because of the pandemic. And I don't know right at this point whether there's one scheduled for October, because that's when they're going to have it in October.
Yeah, but you're saying it like there's, okay, you work with March of Dimes.
Yes, I do.
Okay, March of Dimes. I mean, like you said, American Cancer Society.
Brag on yourself.
I know it's many more. I don't know why he's not naming them, but
yeah, well, the March of Dimes is through a fraternity effort. We have I don't want to say contest, but it is. We raise funds and we compete with all of the chapters throughout the country. Our chapter here in Memphis, I believe, was the last I can remember was $15,000 for last year, but we were the number one chapter in our region last year for fundraising for March of Dimes.
Congratulations.
Thank you. and we're headed that way again this year too.
It's always a friendly competition with the Alphas and the Zetas for the March of Dimes.
Always.
Really?
Mm-hmm. That's one of our big thrusts.
Awesome. Yeah, so we have some more comments. Let's see. Vicky Bailey is cutting up as usual. Just some technical difficulties, But maybe it is a xylophone. Courtney, did you? You have no xylophone? Okay.
It's one of those cameo boxes.
Like Roger and Zapp, like computer love. Computer love.
Sorry. Okay.
Thank you, Ms. Vicky. Thank you. Hi, Tavares. Good to see you. You said that you're humble. You don't want to talk to you. Are you humble?
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't like to toot my own horns. I know enough.
You know enough.
Yeah.
But we're trying to make sure that everyone else knows.
If they want to get involved, please do so, because we always need more help, especially with efforts like March of Dimes, because it's for the preemies.
Yeah. It's always good. So I don't want to keep talking. If y'all want me to ask the next question, I know Dr. Courtney is on the xylophone.
Well, I was trying to keep it to a minimum because I didn't want to sound like that.
I know.
You sound
Sound good now.
Yeah.
Do I? Oh, I had to take a break, I guess, for a little while.
So I have a question. What does self-care look like for you, Mr. Lee?
Self what?
Miss Lee, Miss Lee.
Self-care. What do you do for yourself to take care of yourself? Not necessarily anything formal, but things that relax you, rejuvenate you, build you up.
I'm gonna
Oh,
guess go.
I listen to music.
Okay,
I listen
jazz.
to, well, not only jazz. I listen
Okay.
to new age because
New
new
age.
age can be soothing.
What is new age?
Drake.
No,
This is a genre, right?
it's mostly instrumental, but some
Yeah.
people call it far out.
Is that
Music.
like when you're in the at the spa and you get a massage and everything?
Yeah, yeah.
I've never been to that spa.
It can be very soothing.
I can't stand Sylvia. Anyway,
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
okay.
the water flowing, the sleep.
it's the
It's a sleep
rain,
machine. It's like a sleep machine. It's just
right? The rain flowing.
White noise music.
Is that
Got
what
it.
it is?
It has quite a bit of white noise in it. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. What else do you do?
You still play your
Go.
trumpet?
No, I don't do that.
You don't?
No, 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 no.
I'm glad you know when to stop playing. I'm not gonna say that. Yeah, I'm just
Say
glad you
it.
know.
Say it. Say it. Just say it.
No, I've taken a
I attended an event and there was a surprise, and somebody brought out their saxophone, and I just kept thinking, like, why didn't they give that up in high school? Like, you just need to know when to hold them and fold them. Like, I don't play. I played the violin. I don't play anymore. So
But
Yeah.
you practice.
Yeah,
if it brings you joy, that's one thing. But to
Yeah,
play
don't
in front of
bring
an audience,
I don't get
that's
the
different.
self gratification that I
Again,
used to.
Again, he's being very humble.
Humble.
He was playing with a band.
Oh wow!
When were you playing with that band and touring the
Up
country?
until about 3 years ago. Like I said,
Oh.
I don't get the self gratification anymore.
It doesn't serve him like it used to. I
But-
received that.
But what I'm saying is that he still can actively play if he
I
wants.
could if I wanted to.
Wow, that's
Yes,
amazing.
I'm not. That was not my point. But if it's
No,
not
we
served,
understand.
Yeah.
But he's
Leah, you didn't get music bug.
What's that?
no,
Did
she's a
Leah-
basketball star.
Leah didn't get the music
Oh,
bug.
no.
She was
No,
a runner. She's a track
absolutely.
star.
Absolutely
She's
not.
not a
She
music.
was she's a basketball star.
I wanted Jalen to be the next musician in the family.
Yeah.
He's taking the sports, which I didn't take the sports.
He
I was never that much of an athlete at anything.
he did it. He did piano for about 5 years.
Yeah.
He did
Mhm.
piano and he did
I
well.
keep hoping he'll pick it back up too.
Yeah, we bought a piano and everything, and then he started, just trying different sports. But he loves to sing. He sings in the choir
Yeah.
He
still,
does.
and he's a bass one or bass two now. So he took after my dad's dad with the
With the
voice.
singing,
Yeah.
So I was
Oh my
hoping-
God, Leah, that skipped over you too. Good Lord.
I
The
can
bass?
sing.
Oh.
No,
Leah, you can
somebody
sing.
I can sing.
Mr.
Leah,
Lee.
you lying.
Mr.
You
Lee.
can sing,
What's
sing.
that? What?
Leah
Can I
can sing.
Oh yeah, Leah can sing. She can hold a tune.
What?
We
Bust
didn't
it
know
to
that.
me, Leah.
But
Yeah.
Jalen is the vocalist in the family. He's definitely.
He said
Great.
you can sing, but you're not a vocalist.
I will give Jalen. He can have all the praises. That is fine. That is fine.
Leah can hold the tune. Who knew? Dr.
That's
Sylvia,
right.
you got competition now. Sorry.
I'm good. I think I'm straight.
He's a hater.
Well, I am the dancer with my backup singers. I'll take it. Thank you.
I do interpretive.
No.
Okay, Mr. Lee, what is next for you? We post pandemic. You got your golf watch. What is next for you?
Oh, what's next for me is
Yes.
getting back to traveling because that's one of the things that I have missed. But
Don't go on Spirit.
don't go what on Spirit?
No.
probably not.
I had a good experience.
No, Leah. No.
But that's one of the things that brings me joy now, and that's when traveling, especially with the family, because there's so much to see. people say, well, why don't you go international? You know, I will when the time is right, but there's so much that I would like to see that I'm continuing to see in this country, and a lot of things that I should want to continue to expose Jalen to, because traveling is educational, and
So true.
it brings joy, especially when Linda and I could travel together. We just came back from a little mini vacation. Doesn't have to be far, but as long as we're seeing new things, as long as we have new experiences, and we're having fun, enjoying good food and our company, just enjoying being together. That's so fulfilling right now for me. But
I love it.
I want to step that up a little bit. So hopefully I'll be giving Leah some more business in the next few months.
I love it.
Yes, all of
Well,
us.
well, I have one more question before you leave out. Um, and this is just for me also to show my appreciation with Father's Day coming up and everything you do for me still. I think you cut my yard yesterday.
In the heat.
Yeah, at
He
least it wasn't that
he
humid.
doesn't bother him now. Sometimes I'm more concerned than he is. But my dad, his
That's just another way to get my exercise.
yeah, he will cut
He
my
has
yard
really made healthy a lifestyle. I love it. Active
and
lifestyle.
all the other various things that I ask for advice and things that I need him to come to my rescue occasionally. I don't think it's too often, but he took on a very big role as Jalen's grandfather. And for 16 years, he's really helped me out. And just, I guess, to kind of end the conversation, what advice do you have for Jalen right now at 16 years old regarding his health and his future? What would you tell him?
The most important thing I can tell Jalen right now, especially health wise, is don't follow other kids uh, that start doing things that jeopardize their health when they become this age and between 16 and 20, especially when they go off to school. Uh, don't take up smoking. Uh, Continue to do those things that keep you active. Uh, uh, I know when it's time to maybe take a drink.
I'll make it for him.
Always consider doing it in moderation, because uh, things done in extremes can be very, very harmful to you, especially in this day and time for the younger generation when they start taking things to extremes. Because there's so many options, there's so many uh, deterrents from following a straight and healthy life. I just hope he can follow suit, because my granddad was a great influence on me. Uh, and you know, I really only knew one granddad, but I think I followed in his footsteps in a lot of ways, and I would hope that Jalen will do the same thing. Is uh, take some of the things that I'm trying to tell him and live by them, and uh, hopefully some of the things that he sees me doing that are positive. Hopefully he'll continue to do those things as well.
I love it.
Well, again, thank you. I'm glad that you joined us today, and I hope we didn't take up too much of your busy schedule.
Well,
Thank
whenever you're
you.
here in Memphis, I will try to have some vegetables from the garden for you.
For
Please
breakfast.
do.
Love it. Love
We'll
it.
be there.
Love it. Well, happy Father's Day, and thank you so much for joining us at Three Friends Talk. Y'all show him some love in the comments.
Thank you. Thanks for
Yay!
inviting me.
Thank you, Mr. Lee.
All
Mr.
right.
Lee, Mr.
Standing
Lee,
ovation.
Mr. Lee, Mr. Lee,
Got a
Mr.
standing
Lee.
ovation.
Okay. Invite me back again sometime.
Okay.
We will.
Be careful on your way out.
So, Dr.
That was
Courtney,
awesome.
before we get to Spirit, how was your trip and where'd you go? Let the friends know.
Well, we always encourage self-care on Three Friends Talk and health, friends, and fun. And I was invited on an amazing trip with a great group of friends, a travel mom group called Passport Moms. They are absolutely amazing moms of all ages,
Shout
fabulous
out to
moms who,
Sakari. She was our
yeah,
first guest this season. If you want to learn more about Passport Moms,
absolutely. Sakari is a phenomenal, influence in the Metro Atlanta area, and she has really put together an amazing, uplifting group. So she got the group together where, we as moms have to get away from the norm and really get back to us having fun, refresh, rejuvenize, and get back to ourselves in order to come back to reality and take care of our family. It's kind of like a refresher. So it was a part of self-care, which we are an advocate for. So we went on a trip to Cancun, to one of the newer resorts, Planet Hollywood, and it was amazing. We did everything from glam, the glamorous side of vacationing. We were able to do photo shoots. We did, these videos. We dressed up. We really empower ourselves. We had fireside chats, really trying to work through different challenges in the day to day so we could be a support for each other, because sometimes we think we're alone, but we're really going through a lot of the same things. And we partied a lot. We did a great TikTok. We were able to be sexy and let it loose. So yes, Dr. Courtney was sexy all over again this weekend. I'm a little hoarse, but the trip was phenomenal, and it almost got ruined on my way home because of
what had
the
happened?
travel. I would like to say from Cancun to New Orleans, because I came back to New Orleans, to pick up Devin before we head back to Atlanta for Father's Day weekend to meet up with my hubby, right? So Spirit had terrible communication. Whatever challenges they had with flights, they failed to communicate with us with gate changes, if there was delays due to weather, or if the flight was canceled. And it really took me 18 hours to get home. And I think a lot of it unnecessarily could have been avoided. Um, and I'm just so
Did you
frustrated.
have
I
a
realized
connecting flight? Was it a connecting flight? What was the issue?
it was. So I didn't realize I was flying on Spirit till the last minute, because I made my arrangements and it was United, right? United, and the transfer coming back was Spirit. So I didn't realize it was Spirit until I looked at the whole itinerary. I was bamboozled, first of all. I thought I was on United, which is a trusted, flight that I've used before, airline that I've used before. So I said, okay, but I'm coming back into the country. It should be fine. And a lot of, our friends were like, girl, I could have told you, don't go get on Spirit. I've had this and that type of experience. And I was like, it should be fine. Let me just get it over with. And it was inexpensive, which is what Spirit is known for. But they charge you for all these little things. The seat, each and every bag, a doggone carry-on. Okay, fine. So the first flight from Mexico to Orlando, I had to go to Florida. There was a delay. So I'm sitting at the gate with a lot of other passengers, and there's no change on the monitor to say that the flight is delayed, but nobody's coming. No staff at the gate. Nothing is happening. So I
Mm-hmm.
go find somebody, and she's talking to me, and she's like, oh, you guys have been changed to another gate down at the wing. And it's 15 minutes after the flight should have boarded. So by the time I run to the other flight thinking I'm late, oh, the flight is delayed anyway. But now I'm getting worried because a delay in my first flight is going to cause me to have a shorter time to get to my second flight once I land in Orlando.
You have to
And
go
in
through
Orlando is
customs.
when I have to go through customs to get the bags back, recheck them, go through security again. So it's not like I can just go from gate to gate, right? Okay. So we're waiting around in Mexico, finally board the flight. Yes. And now by the time I get to Orlando, there's only 1 hour between me getting off the plane and getting to my next flight. So we get down to, and when you look out the window, it's overcast in Orlando. There's no talk of any issues. We get down into like the basement of the airport, which is where customs was, and they had to give us our bags. There's an announcement to say the weather is now so bad outside that they can't even get our bags off the flight to get them to us. So in customs, it's a federal area. There's no phones allowed, no electronics. There's no food, no water, no nothing. Barely got a bathroom. So the time it took for us to get our bags, to wait for the weather to die down, because it must have been a mini hurricane, the way they were complaining, it was an hour and a half. An hour and a half of my life sitting in the basement of an airport. I was so frustrated. I really had to sneak off to the bathroom to text my mom to let her know that I was going to be late for, arriving back to New Orleans. Get to the second flight, and oh, no, I'll take it back. The Spirit's associate in the basement said, as soon as you get your bags, run to the gate, because if the pilot, it's up to the pilot if they want to stay and wait for y'all, because it's about 20 to 30 of us needing to get onto this flight.
That's crazy. Now, if it was that many people, they should have waited.
Delayed it.
Ma'am, when I tell you, she said if the pilot is ready to go because he has a deadline, he will leave. I said, oh, okay. So when the last time I had to run through an airport, I was what's the song? Sing the song.
She's a runner. She's a track star.
Don't make me start cursing. Girl,
did y'all make it?
Yeah, did you make it?
I ran through the airport, got to the gate, and there's a mob at the gate. And I went to the front. I said, forget a line, right? I went to the front and said, is this the flight to New Orleans? That man looked at me and said, oh, they left y'all. So,
oh,
excuse me?
Horrible.
So,
wow.
So he told me, he was like, don't worry. There's a whole crew waiting for you at the ticket counter to help you get another flight. I said, hold on. I didn't come to the ticket counter at the front of the airport. I came through customs. I didn't leave. I didn't come to the front of the airport. So you mean to tell me I got to go back through regular security, like come out of security, go to the ticket counter to get another flight, and nobody
should have been able to help you.
The spirit said, go back to the front. Oh, sorry.
What they say?
Oh my God.
Go back to the front. Go back to the front. So, went back to the front. And by this time, again, there's a mob following me because
they following you.
A lot of us, they follow me. I am a leader. So,
right.
I took my mob back to the airport. Back to the front. And there's another big group of people that's there. And I find a little lady on the side. I always want to find the person that's not doing anything. Like, let me talk to you. Let me bring you to the side. Come here, lady. So anyway, I brought her to the side, was talking to her, told her the situation, and she was really concerned. She saw the stress on my face. I was in distress. So she said, hold on, let me go to the back to talk to my supervisor. Supervisor came out. And she was really sweet, older lady. I even took a picture. I'm about to post it and be like, she really tried to save our lives, but it was still effed up. Okay. So, yes. So anyway,
fully living.
I was about dead. So anyway, she gets us to the counter and she's like, all the New Orleans people follow me. So we get to this other counter. Of course, other people start following who don't belong. And it's like, what's going on? Can they help us? I was like, it's just the New Orleans people. Just for the New Orleans people. Get back. So anyway, get to the front, and she's like, look, I have, this is what happened. Your flight did not leave you. The flight got canceled. I said, how did the flight get canceled if the plane is gone, ma'am? The plane is gone. She said, no, they're on the runway. They didn't take off. They got to come back to the gate. So you actually have a half a flight, a plane full of people on the plane. And they're coming back. So they've been sitting on this flight already for 2 hours. The original folks.
Because of the weather?
Because of the weather. So I get that. All right. We can't fly. But they already been on there for 2 hours. But she said they're coming back.
The pilot was in such a rush to leave and then couldn't even go nowhere.
Right.
Well, he's trying to probably beat the weather.
So I gave them that. I gave them the benefit of the doubt. But here's the thing. The communication was terrible because the people on the plane, I later found out, didn't know why. Nobody's telling them anything. So she tells me the flight is canceled altogether. She said there's another flight at 10 p.m. By this time, my flight was supposed to take off at 4:30. It's already about 6:30 because it's 2 hours later. So she said there's another flight at 10 p.m. She said, hold on. They canceling that one too. I said, wait, what the hell? I said, okay. I said, but I don't have to fly with y'all. I said, I can fly with Southwest. Southwest got a 10 o'clock as well, right? Because I
Mhm.
said, because what would be the next flight after that? She said, I can get you home 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. I said, I know you effing lying. I know you lying.
This was in
So,
Orlando.
girl, if I was anywhere close, I would have just gotten a rental car and
This had
drove.
to be Fort Lauderdale if it was Southwest. It had to be Fort Lauderdale.
It was
No,
in
no,
Orlando.
Southwest flies to Orlando, but
Oh,
it,
okay.
it just
Thank
sounds
you, travel
like
agent. Thank you, travel agent.
no, it
Tell her,
just sounds like Orlando should have been a little bit more
well
equipped.
prepared.
Should have had
Because
more flights.
Okay,
it was
so
a
what ended up
hurricane.
happening?
I can see if
All
it was
right.
Memphis.
So
Memphis
this
only
ain't the
got
half
three
of it. Well, this might be
flights.
the halfway point.
I hope
So,
it's like the 3/4 point.
okay. Well, let me finish real quick.
She tied.
So I
Wrap it up.
told her, I said, I'm about to get this flight with
Wrap
Southwest.
it
At this
up.
point, you can ship me my bags because I don't know. The bags don't even know where they at right now. I was like, just ship me the bags. Okay. I'm about to go. She's like, oh, ma'am, it's a federal offense for you to leave your bags. What the? You know what? Give me on. I'm about to go to Southwest. So as I'm punching in the information for Southwest on my phone to get this flight at 10 o'clock, she said, hold on. Wait a minute. They are actually going to fly. They're going to push the 4:30 flight back to 7:30. You can make the flight. I said, I'm about to hit pay on Southwest. Are you sure? She said, don't do nothing. I'm going to get you on this flight. She said, here go your boarding pass. Run to the gate. Now, granted, I'm outside of security, but I got TSA pre-check. So all the other people who got switched over to the
I
7:30
feel like
flight,
this is the end of the
they,
story.
it's not. It's really not. It's really
Let me
not.
go get some water. I'll be right back.
No, don't leave. Don't leave. So the rest of
Tied.
the people, no, the rest of the people had to go through the long line of the security check.
I think you
Everybody
could
with
leave this
TSA
detail
pre-check
out.
were clear because I went
I
through
love
pre-check,
clear.
lickety split, and
Lickety
I
split.
got back to I sprinted back to the gate. Do
Okay,
you
so what
know
happened?
do you know it was like a zombie movie because these
Oh my
people
gosh.
they had people on the plane already. They about 3 hours in sitting on this plane, and they were trying to bust off the plane because they haven't given the people no water,
So what happened?
no nothing. So this couple the man was like, sir, you cannot get off the plane. He was like, I will never be on here again. Just give my seats away. Him and his wife were like, forget, never again. And then another woman was screaming because her baby ain't had no water, no nothing. They had to
I hope they
deboard.
the baby.
They deboarded the plane. So everybody who was already on there, they deboarded them. So the entire flight going to New Orleans is not. I got footage of this shit. It's not. It's real. Like this is terrible. So I wasn't supposed to curse. My bad. It's
No,
coming
It's
out.
your show. It's your show.
I was saying
No,
I don't.
Miss
I
Sylvia
don't
was
need to
looking
see it.
crazy.
No,
I'm in
I
the
was saying
moment.
I believe you. I don't need to see it. That's why I was looking
Okay.
right there.
So at this point, it's almost like 8 o'clock, right?
Mhm.
And they finally start boarding us. And it was so ghetto. It was the ghetto that these people didn't have no computer. Forget a zone, calling the zone. They just started taking your boarding passes out your hand. Okay. So I think I had zone 6 and I was like the third person on the plane. Like, forget this. I'm getting on this damn plane. So they had to switch out the pilots and the stewardesses. I think after I got down the walkway, that's when you could hear them starting to call like zone 1 and all that. Forget that. I'm on the flight. So I sit down. I have seat 6A. Tell me why I remember this seat. 6A. Okay, let me tell you why. Because
No, don't
the
tell us
woman,
why.
no,
Don't tell us
no,
why.
no. The woman behind me in the 7th row looks over at me and said, ma'am, you know there's a whole family sitting on row 6. I said, but I got 6A. And looked out the window. They had somebody else with a duplicate seat that said 6A. But guess who wasn't moving? Rosa Parks.
Okay.
Do not. Do
Well,
not.
you made
Do
it.
not.
I was not
Casey.
moving today.
We're
Not
so
moving.
we're
Let me
so
tell you.
happy. We're
So,
so happy that
so,
you made it
So
so,
you
safely.
made it home.
so,
Amen.
so,
Amen.
I was about to be that woman going viral because they were going to have to try to pull me out my seat. But guess who wasn't moving?
We You said that.
So the
You know,
stewardess looked at my ticket and her ticket and was like, I'll be right back. So remember I said this couple got off the plane and was like, I'm never coming back again? They had some extra seats and then people sat in them seats because I wasn't about to move today. I was about to get to New Orleans. And that flight sat on the runway for another 30 minutes. We didn't take off till 9:30. I got to New Orleans at 11 o'clock. I have been traveling since 5 a.m. You hear me?
And the rest is history.
And I wrote a nice, nasty letter to Spirit Tuesday morning. I will never, ever, 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 ever ride on the doggone Spirit flight again. You can kiss my entire.
We got it.
yeah, we're so happy that you made it home. I had a wonderful experience when I flew Spirit. I
Bye,
flew
Leah. I don't want to hear nothing
from
about Spirit.
Portland to Fort Lauderdale, and I was flying with my cousin, and he's in the military, so my
You
bags
get
were
free.
free.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we had no issues. We got on the plane and we
If
made
I
it.
get a free ticket from Spirit, you can have it. Not going.
But
No,
I felt the same way about Allegiant for a long time. I had some bad
we can cancel them too.
experiences with Allegiant, and I've flown Allegiant since. I have flown them since I had a couple bad experiences to Fort Lauderdale, and I actually flew them to Oakland and to Las Vegas and had really good experiences both times. Direct flights. No, no, that's the only thing I like about Allegiant is that it's direct flights, and prices are pretty decent. But I understand what you're saying. Some of the budget airlines, they have technical difficulties. The first time I flew Allegiant, they weighed my suitcase on like a bathroom scale, and I was like, there's
Man,
no way you can tell me.
ghetto.
I could have done this
So
before I
ghetto.
got to the airport and just wrote down, took a picture, snapshot, and it's the same thing. Like, I don't trust your scale. I trust mine at home better. So then by the time it took like 30 minutes to check in for them to weigh my luggage on the bathroom scale, and then by the time I got to the gate, it was the same people that was checking me in that came to the gate. They had to travel from the check-in to the gate. I said they're gonna fly the plane too. Because why do y'all only have two people working in this airport? I don't understand.
That's what
So
Spirit did. They have
no,
no
when you
communication.
said that
They
part, I
was
was
just walkie talkies, just yelling down the tarmac. Hello, get the people on the plane. They not ready. Okay, we ready to board. This ghetto.
I understand. I understand. I understand. But
I
there
was
might be a time that
Delta.
you can
Thank
give them
you.
another chance.
No, no, no.
So, what are y'all doing for Juneteenth?
Juneteenth is going to be busy for me. Jalen has a physical that morning, so he's starting off with to make sure that his health is in order and in check. And then we have to go and pick up materials because he starts bridge builders next week. So we have to pick those materials up. So on the way back, I think we're going to swing by either Health Sciences Park. I know they're doing
There's some
something
festivals
there.
going on.
Health Sciences Park is going to have events like throughout the day, performances. They'll be, I'm sure they'll be selling merchandise and, lots of food and everything. And then Lemoyne College is also doing something that morning. And I believe one of our Xavier alumni will be there. So I'll probably stop through there for a little while. Personally, I know people that are having Juneteenth parties. They're treating Juneteenth like July
We'll have some
4th.
fireworks. Yep.
Yeah, and the Senate just voted to make Juneteenth make Juneteenth a federal holiday. So we'll see
Dr.
how
Courtney, don't let you put yourself together.
how it goes. But yeah, I'm excited. Hopefully, you know about Juneteenth. That's when the slaves in Texas, 2 years after the Emancipation Proclamation, found out that they were free. And so it's something I've celebrated throughout my childhood, and it's become a lot more popular in recent years.
Right.
And so
We've
it's
always had
bittersweet.
too. Yeah.
Huh?
we've always had events too. We normally would have them in Douglas Park in North Memphis. I haven't seen if Douglas Park is doing anything. I don't know if they've moved everything to the Health Sciences Park. Oh, let me give you a story about Health Sciences Park. So Health Sciences Park is a park that is surrounded by University of Tennessee Medical Center. Dr. Courtney, you ready to come back in? Hey, okay.
Hey.
So, like I said, the park is surrounded by University of Tennessee Health Sciences Center, and it used to be called Forest Park. So why was it called Forest Park? Because Nathan Bedford Forrest and his wife are buried in the park. And Nathan Bedford Forrest is the Grand Wizard of the Ku Klux Klan.
No.
Right. So, we've been fighting, of course, like this is going on in a lot of cities across the country. We fought for years to have the park, just to have it renamed, to not honor him. So they finally renamed the park. They had a huge statue, a huge monument over their grave. They finally took that down. And I mean, like I said, this took years. It took protests. It was all in the news, it was in the national news. People were standing out there, the Confederate people who, honor the Confederacy or whatever, to find if that's what you do. But, they were standing guard out there and trying to stop the people from pulling the statues down, just like in Lee Circle in New Orleans. They ended up pulling the statues down, and they actually, I want to say a couple of weeks ago, just exhumed the bodies. And I don't know where they took them, but they should be in a cemetery or a family plot anyway. They should never have been in a public park. So, that's kind of a good thing that we can move past that a little bit, but it does have a kind of a tarnished history. Most of the Confederate named parks in Memphis have been renamed. So, I'm sure, like I said, it's happening in other cities as well.
Yeah, in Texas,
Well,
there's a
Juneteenth
ton
will
of
be celebrating fireworks.
what?
Go ahead. Fireworks on Juneteenth. Yeah.
Oh, okay. In Texas, we always have all types of celebrations, but the governor signed a law about not teaching aspects of history that are related to enslaved people.
Was that Texas?
So
was that Texas? Because that was going on somewhere else too. Was it Florida?
It's kind of a movement across the country. Yeah. The 1619 Project and certain things. So it's just ironic that, the Senate voted to make Juneteenth a federal holiday, yet they don't want that part of our history taught in school from a perspective that, doesn't gloss over it. So, we still got work to do, and the marathon continues.
Oh, yeah.
All right. The marathon continues. So we will continue as well next week with another episode of Three Friends Talk.
Bye, friends. And we'll see you tomorrow night on Freely TV, channel 109 at 10 o'clock to catch us there. Or you can catch the show on YouTube as well. And we hope that you all have a wonderful Juneteenth and a wonderful Father's Day. And thanks for joining us tonight on Three Friends Talk.
Bye, friends.
Bye, friends.